I said we're not going to be using INT 21 anymore because it it doesn't really function correctly on its own when you're coding your operating system. Well, you may want to pause for key press, and I'm showing you this here. Here's int 16. We're going to be using int 16 0 get keystroke, and this we're using the 00 function and interrupt 16, and the 001 works just like get the 0 H. You know how we pause with 0H? Well, it's practically the same thing, except instead of sending it to the it sends the key you press to the AL register. I think that's the same as 08 anyways, but this is what I'm showing you because I'm going to try to show you ways around it. So like how you got 3F to display full user input, you can play around with this and see. I don't think any of these will get you full user input, but you could write a code with the knowledge. You should be able to write one with the knowledge you know to be able to get full user input just by one key at a time. Well, kind of. But let me show you. Let's remove. Remember, I said we're not using this anymore. So let's go ahead and keep everything. Actually, we're going to pause it a different way. And this is where we're going to pause it is 00H int 16. Now let's do that. Hello. So I'm going to say hello world, pressing the key to continue. And it pauses just the same. I think interrupt 16 is a little bit slower, but it doesn't matter. When you're coding an operating system, it's just going to run on those codes and you won't notice it being any slower at all. It will seem to run perfectly. So like I said, we're not going to be using int 20 on our operating system. We're just going to be using it here though, because we want you just don't want our command prompt to crash. But so yeah, you can go research, like go through all this. There's a whole bunch in interrupt 16. I'm really not going to show you much other than that. But remember, like in the interrupt 10 we've been using, that will work just fine too. So I'm going to probably start in the operating systems in the next tutorial. That's it for this tutorial.